So good night again. Tonight we are going to be talking, like Steph said, about small business marketing and events. So just a little bit about myself. My name is Bianca Bethel, Sawyer, like he said. I'm a nationally award-winning creative marketing, event, and communication professional. I've worked in various different industries over the last 10 years. To date, some of my greatest career highlights are I created a customer-centric event sponsorship and community platform for Alive. I also manage the team of marketing professionals who were responsible for putting on the country's biggest sporting event, which was the IAAF World Relays. And I also created the first internal and external marketing and communications plan for the National Training Agency. A fun fact about me is I have a bachelor's degree in journalism, so I did not go to college to study marketing. I know my friend Sasha is on this Zoom, so I would like to say that I am not a marketing guru. I don't consider myself to be any of those titles, not a marketing expert, but just someone with marketing experience who's always willing to learn and who's going to share some information with you tonight. Make sure to follow me on social media, Sawyer BBS, on Facebook, Bianca Bethel Sawyer. I also have my email as well as my telephone contact at the bottom of this presentation. I recently launched BBS Marketing and Communications. It's a marketing and communications company that assists small businesses with marketing and events. So tonight we're going to be talking about what marketing is, branding versus marketing, getting started, creating your marketing budget, marketing strategies, events as a marketing strategy, return of investment, making it work, and at the end, we're going to do questions and answers. If you have a question during the presentation, please feel free to drop it in the chat box. Staff is going to be monitoring the chat box, and so at the end of the night, I will answer all your questions and answers. I will answer all your questions as best as I can. I don't want to stop during the presentation because I am still suffering from pregnancy brain and I can forget where I left off. And so I want us to go through as much information as possible within the hour. So the first opening activity we're going to do is I want you to use the chat box and type the name of a company whose brand or marketing you admire. I'll give you about 2 minutes and I'll start looking in the chat at what you guys are saying. Apple, I see a lot of Apple, Alive, BTC, Grace Management Group, Serendipity, Sandbox, interesting. Chick-fil-A, okay, Rolls-Royce, Samsung. Okay, so keep sharing your responses for me. Gucci. Sims, you are a man or woman after my own heart. Gucci. Apple, okay. And what about some locally ones? I see the Bush Cook, that's a good one. Any other local? Bahama. Okay, let's get started. So what is marketing? If you were to Google what marketing is right now, you will get several different meanings. Marketing is something that you need. Let's just start there. If you want to have a successful business, you have to have incredible marketing. Marketing is important. I repeat, marketing is important. There's so many elements involved in marketing, and a lot of companies, especially here in the Bahamas, look at marketing as just a radio or TV ad. You'll hear a lot of times when you ask companies, so what are you doing for marketing now? Well, I had a radio ad here and there, or I placed an ad in the paper. But marketing is so much more of having a radio or TV ad. It's so much more than a logo or placing an ad in the paper. It is a must-have thing. if done properly, you will see a of investment. Simply put, marketing is basically how you're going to share the marketing message of your brand to your customers. Why is marketing important? It is important for your business because it helps you to find new customers and it helps you to keep current customers. There are so many other reasons on why marketing is important, but those are my top two reasons on why it is important and what it is. It is definitely sharing your message, your brand message on different platforms. So if that's what marketing is, what is branding? Sometimes, a lot of times, clients ask me, well, what is the difference between branding and marketing? I think a lot of people ask that question because organizations and people in general use the term interchangeably. Every business, regardless of your business size, needs a brand. A brand is more than a logo, a color, or a tagline. Branding is your identity. It is who you are. It is why you started the business, what your business is about, what you want to accomplish. Branding comes first. I repeat, branding comes first. A lot of times, a lot of times, we do it opposite. We do the marketing and then we try to form the brand. A well-articulated brand emotionally connects with your target customer and conveys who you are, what you stand for, and what you can deliver. Someone once said it perfectly. Branding is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Ask yourself this question right now. What are people saying about your small business if you have one? What are people saying about your brand? Branding isn't just a one-time fix. The bottom line is branding is making, communicating, and delivering a promise. Branding is making, communicating, and delivering a promise. Marketing is finding and sharing that brand with the audience who will most benefit from that promise. In the perfect world, marketing supports building strong brands. Great brands do great marketing. They act as teachers to their audience. So now that you know what the difference of marketing and branding is, let's get started. So you're thinking about implementing marketing for your small business and you have no idea on where to begin. And you're wondering, how do I go about getting marketing done for my small business? Now is the time to start. The first thing you need to do is develop your brand. You need to take your time and develop it thoughtfully and early. People love a good story that moves them emotionally and into action. Although the logo is not the only element, it is the most recognizable part of the brand. Think about it. No matter where you go in this world, you always recognize McDonald's logo. Your brand should be consistent. Consistency makes or breaks a brand. You should create brand guidelines that document all the do's and don'ts of your business. I'm a big stickler for consistency and brand guidelines. The reason being is a lot of times you would see a brand, let's say it's a clothing store, and what the clothing store portrays on, let's say, a social media platform, it's not being portrayed in a newspaper ad. The text is different. The wording or the tagline may change, and it's not even close to what the original brand guideline stands. That, let's say your brand is God's gift of language, a company that provides like speech therapy to kids, and one in the newspaper the L in the language is blue and your logo, the L is red. Stuff like that should never ever be seen in your brand. It should be consistent. Your logo should always be recognizable, and wherever it is being shown, it should show that your brand shows consistency. Font, all of that must remain the same. Secondly, you must conduct market research. Market research is a key part of developing your marketing strategy. It is about collecting information that provides an insight into what your customers are thinking, their buying patterns, and location. One quick way to do marketing research is if you have already an existing business, ask your customers. Ask your customers what they think about your brand. What do they like? What they don't like? Get their feedback. Their feedback is very, very important. Thirdly, and this is a big one, you need to define your target market. Not everyone is your target. Trying to promote your product or service to everyone can be costly and ineffective. Let me repeat that. Trying to promote your product or service to everyone can be costly and ineffective. You need to know your target. You need to know how old your target is. What is their location? Is it a she or he? How much money they're making? Their marital status, where they're employed. Grouping or segmenting your potential customer based on certain characteristics will help you to focus your marketing efforts. The fourth thing you want to do is identify your unique selling proposition. Clearly describe what it is you offer your customers. Explain why they should deal with you and what sets your business apart from the competitors. Is it your customer service? Is your product of good quality? Are you reliable? Do you turn over product very fast and conveniently? Don't try to be reliable and everything else all in one. Focus on what you do best and work on that and bring that to your customers. Let that drive be your core brand message. One of my favorite things to do when I get a new client or a business to market is to scoop the competitors. A lot of people like to say, well, I don't care what my competitors are doing. I care. No matter what business I am marketing, I do my research on the competitor. My research allows me to see what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. That way you can build on your USP and it allows you to have a competitive advantage on what it is you need to do. The next thing you need to do is develop your marketing goal, strategy, and plan. And this is very, very important. The marketing plan is your strategy for allocating time and money in order to achieve your objectives. Without a marketing plan, sadly, your business dreams are really only wishful thinking. So if you don't have a marketing plan and you say, I want to acquire 5,000 customers by the end of the year, and you have no plan on doing that, it's basically just a wishful thinking. Remember that while the plan can be a map for success, the map must have room for improvement. In other words, yes, you're going to create a plan, but marketing is ever changing. So you will always have to update that plan and go back and forth, make tweaks and see what's working and what's not working. Don't ignore your customers. That's why marketing research is so important, because once you know what your customers want, it will help you to develop your marketing strategy and plan. Remember, goals and objectives, they are different. A goal is I will generate $50,000 in cash by the end of the year. How you're going to do that is the strategy and objective. The last thing you want to do when you're about to get started with your marketing is begin crafting content and messaging that will be used to attract, engage, and delight customers. My favorite thing to discuss, the marketing budget. So once you're done creating a clear and precise marketing strategy plan, it's time to create a realistic marketing budget. This is crucial. You will also need to allocate a budget to your marketing activities. A lot of times I speak to clients and the first question I ask is, do you have a marketing budget? 99% of the time, the answer is no. Ask yourself, how much money do you have each month to devote to marketing? Is your budget going to grow? Your marketing budget will need to include elements such as website development and maintenance, search engine optimization strategy, design of branding or rebranding, because a lot of times we create a brand and we realize that, it's not working and we need to to move it, and so we need to rebrand. Printing or promotional material, that is your business cards, your brochures, your signage. Your marketing budget should also include advertising, donations and sponsorship, employing staff to undertake marketing activities if you aren't able to. A general tip or general rule of thumb is you should spend between 3 and 5% of your actual or expected annual turnover on marketing. If your business is new, you may need to allocate more funds initially to build your brand. You may need to revise your budget periodically. Again, decide how your target audience finds and needs businesses and direct your marketing dollars and energy towards it. Marketing strategies. Marketing strategies are the types of communications you do to get your message in front of your target market using the appropriate channels. Basically, marketing strategy is nothing more than planning all actions to promote your brand, product, or service in advance and monitor the results of such actions to understand what should be maintained and what can be improved. For the sake of time, we're going to talk about two types of marketing strategies. The first marketing strategy we're going to talk about is traditional marketing. In a nutshell, traditional marketing includes any form of marketing that doesn't take place online. Digital marketing, on the other hand, is every form of marketing that takes place online. Traditional marketing includes paid advertising, word of mouth, events, public relations, partnerships, and joint ventures. Disadvantages of traditional marketing is traditional marketing tends to be very costly, and for small businesses, your budget is usually already tight. The market is more diverse now, so there's so many different other outlets you can use to market, and people really don't want to be told what to buy. So we've seen a trend where people would rather make that choice. They don't want you in the front of their face every 2 seconds, you know, when you're on YouTube, showing an ad over and over and over again. Advantages of traditional marketing is it's fast to implement and it's usually easy to track and measure your ROI, which is your return of investment, which we'll talk about a little later in the night. Digital marketing includes content marketing, email marketing, SEO, social media, paid advertising, mobile marketing, and websites. The disadvantages of digital marketing is it takes more time to see results. It can be time consuming. Advantages, however, is they're generally cost effective, offers users value and sale propositions, and it encourages engagement. Now, most small businesses opt for a blend of traditional and digital strategies. Again, I repeat, this comes down to understanding your audience. Where do they spend their time? What platforms are they most likely to trust? So we're gonna do another quick activity, and I want you to use the chat box now and type your favorite marketing, the favorite marketing strategy of your favorite brand. So the brands that you like, what are some marketing strategies that they've implemented over the years that you like? And we're gonna give that 2 minutes. So Nike, and Alive, giving away free phones. Okay. Brands, okay. Victoria's Secret email marketing program. Tipsy bartenders drink recipes. I like tipsy bartenders too, Davina. BTC, they give good deals. Ash says they give a pair for each pair of purchases. Okay, and I'm gonna ask now for a volunteer. Don't all speak at once. If no one wants to speak, we'll move on. To turn on their mic and tell me more about the strategy that this brand used. I'll give it a minute, and if nobody wants to speak, we'll move on. Going once, going twice. Don't be shy.
I'm gonna say something. I like Nike, meaning that their brand is so prevalent and their brand is so bold. Whenever they advertise or market anything for Nike, the Nike brand, it just wants you to go out and just purchase something. The mere fact that you have a Nike brand on makes you feel as if you're powerful for some reason. That you can do, like you can just do anything with this Nike brand, you know. So that's how I feel with the Nike brand and other brands that are actually in that same target frame that you just
Okay,
want
so
out of it.
how do you hear about Nike? Like, is there any platforms that you follow Nike on? Are they emailing you? How do you go about hearing about Nike?
Take for instance, I have the Nike Fit. So in order for me to be reminded that I have a Nike Fit, whenever I join that, once I have that app, I'm always not inundated, but there is always some advertisement that's coming through the phone. There's always something that's reminding me that, hey, I need to do something. And the Nike brand, the Nike SAS or Swash is always there, so that you know that's Nike. It's always on television, especially, you know, it's always in your face, you know. So why not look at it? Why not purchase an item? Why not wear their shoes? Why not wear their clothing? Because it's there. And then on top of that too is that the items are well made.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Nike is really a strong brand. It's one of my favorite brands as well. One thing you would see about Nike is the tagline is always consistent. And I mean, if you don't know Nike's tagline, you must be living under a rock. Just do it. So like you say, it always empowers you and makes you feel like you can go there and do it.
Yes.
Can we have another one? Just one more, a local one if possible. I know there was some people who were saying alive in BTC. So if you wanna
Hello?
go ahead.
Okay, the local one I want to talk about is BTC. The
Okay.
local one I want to talk about is BTC. With BTC, their products, they, as a company, with been for years. They try to update persons through commercials, by putting them on television, putting them on Facebook, and on the radio, and whatever talk shows persons have. They try to, build the advertisement in there. And with their, with them, they also give an update. They text you about the type of special they have for if you want minutes. They text you um about your bill. They email you. They give you email. So, and their slogan is catchy every day. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Any food ones in here? Anybody want to talk about a food brand? I remember someone had put a restaurant. Is there any food or small business? Nike and BTC are big companies. Does anyone have a small business?
Hi, Bianca. Dash one. How are you?
I'm fine. And yourself?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to mention the new Duff. I think a lot of Bahamian companies can do really well by taking advantage of social media. That's what I've been trying to do in my personal business. But the new Duff, I think, has been really able to reach out to a whole wide spectrum of people. Not just by having a good product, but by posting things that are actually attractive to the eye. And that's something that I think companies can really learn from. That's just my 2 cents. Bye-bye.
Okay, love it, love it. Thank you all. Thank you. Good answers, good answers. So let's talk. I'm going to use this example. Example of gearing your marketing strategy towards your target audience. So the business is a retail store for teenage girls. So we know that teenage girls are obsessed with social media. So you want to get your clothes on Facebook, Twitter, and how do I go back up? 1 second. Sorry about that, everyone. So you want to get your clothes on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. You want to suggest outfits. So you want to pair outfits together. You know, everything on social media is visual. So you want people to see, recommend accessories, give them looks to mimic, encourage them to like and follow you on the latest deals. More than likely, their parents are paying for their clothes. So you want to get their parents' email addresses and send them offers once per month. We all know that teenagers love to wear what their friends are wearing. So you want to create a referral program. If you refer a customer, let's just say, for instance, you get free jewelry or you get something for free. And you want to make products that they actually want to wear. Fashion trends are always changing. So make sure the clothes that you're selling for teenagers are something that they really want to buy. And that's just an example of gearing your marketing strategy towards your target audience. Of course, like I said, the target audience will be teenage girls and their parents. So the best marketing strategies to use. So what are the best marketing strategies to use? There is no obvious and clear answer to this question that covers all situations. Let me repeat. There is no obvious and clear answer to that question that covers all situations. But there are things that can be done today, right now, even on a limited budget, to reach more customers without breaking the bank. However, it still all boils down to time. If you lack the money, you sure better have the time to put in the sweat behind using these marketing strategies. The first one we're going to talk about is social media. We all know you cannot ignore social media. That's where the so-called magic is happening. Some businesses have been built solely on social media. Social media marketing is creating content to promote your brand and products on various social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. Please do not try and use all the social media platforms when you're just starting out. Find the ones that work for you and your target audience. It makes no sense on being on a social media platform just for being safe. A lot of small businesses in this country are on Facebook platforms and are just there to have a presence, and that you're not utilizing social media correctly. You need to be consistent on the platform you select. So not just when it's Christmas or some special time in your industry calendar, you want to be updating social media. You need to be updating social media depending on the platform at least 3 times a week. Some of the best social media platforms that I like is Facebook, because everyone uses it. You need it. Twitter, it's very easy to update. I am just getting back into Twitter, but it's very easy to update. YouTube is the world's second largest search engine. Instagram is directed towards visual marketing. And now new on the block is TikTok. I must admit, I do not know much about TikTok, and I'm still using my daughter to teach me how to utilize TikTok, being a business and not an individual. But as you can see, especially in quarantine, a lot of companies are utilizing TikTok. A lot of people are utilizing TikTok, young and old, to target customers and to convey their marketing message. Remember on social media to invite all your friends and family. This is a big one for me. Utilize your network. So I used to, years ago, own a swimsuit company. And one of my tactics on social media was I would create a flyer of what I had in stock. And my network is kind of big and they're very supportive. And of course, they would have to like the page or like the pages or follow the pages. But what I would get them to do is all drop the flyer at the same time. So it looks like something big is happening on social media. So if I have 10 persons who have huge networks dropping my flyer on Instagram or Facebook, that tends to drive plenty of persons to the pages who want to see exactly what's going on. So invite all your family and your friends. They shouldn't be your friends and family members if they're not supporting your business on social media. Someone said in the chat, please say it again. Find the social media platforms that work for you and target your audience. Yes, that is crucial. Include all your social media handles on all networks. Again, be consistent. If your brand is, let me think of a brand. If you're selling Tina swimsuit, we're just gonna go with that. It shouldn't be Tina swimsuit 242 on Instagram, Tina swimsuit for bigger girls on Facebook. It should be consistent. So keep the handles consistent. Do social media promotions. People like reading, and it also drives traffic to your page. Post interesting content. You want to encourage engagement. So ask questions. See what it is that your followers and the persons liking your page want to see and hear about. Be funny and relevant. Schedule your posts in advance and be transparent. You know, people like to connect, like I say, to brands that have a story. On Facebook, your business should not have a profile. Your business should have a page. I see companies that have a profile is where they have to go and add you as a friend. That's not there for your business. That's there for your individual page, individual platform. But for your business, you need a Facebook business page. Instagram also gives you the option to making it a business platform as well. The next important marketing strategy is your website. Your website is one of the most important tools you have for marketing your business, service, or product. What you find when you think about something, so I want to learn more about your brand. The first place that I'm usually going to do is pull up Google and start typing. What you find or don't often immediately shapes your perception of the company or brand you're researching and weighs heavily on your decision making. You should build a search-friendly website. Choose a domain that represents your brand. Have at least 5 pages on your website. So you should have the basic pages, which is your home page, about us, service, products, contact, and location. Make it easy for people to get the information they need. I also want to throw in there, I know that websites are very expensive, and so a lot of times persons try to do their websites on their own, but your website should not be playful if you're not a playful brand. If you want people to take you serious, your website has to be perfectly fitting. It has to have a nice look and feel. You should definitely implement search engine optimization. SEO is how search engines find and rank your site. Use the right keywords. For example, if you had, sorry, I don't have COVID, guys. 1 second. For example, use the right keywords. If you're a divorce law firm in the Bahamas, what words and phrases do people type in search engines to find a law firm in the Bahamas? If you were looking for a divorce lawyer, what are some of the words or keywords you type into Google?
Cheap.
Cheap? Cheap. So you'll type in cheap lawyer?
Affordable.
Affordable lawyer. Affordable divorce lawyer, correct?
I would type in divorce because that's an divorce lawyer, and that would probably bring up all the divorce lawyers in the area, I guess.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, so yeah, some of the
Information.
phrases you will type in the search engine to find a law firm in the Bahamas, maybe Bahamas divorce lawyer, Bahamas family law, or divorce lawyer in the Bahamas. You want to keep promoting your website. Wherever you go, talk about your website. If you have business cards, make sure your website is there. Make sure your website is on your social media platform. You want to update it and remove outdated information. A pet peeve of mine, and this is just me, is when I go on a website and I click a link and it says information come in. It's why do you have that page active? That page should be closed until it's updated and the information is there. You want to keep the content on your website fresh. So if your address for your business was Carmichael Road, and now you've moved on to Robinson Road, your address is something that should not still be saying Carmichael Road. So make sure you are updating your website over and over and make sure it's fresh content. The next thing we're going to talk about is content marketing. Content marketing is an approach centered on consistently developing and distributing valuable content. This includes blog posts, videos, interviews to attract a specific segment of the market. To be honest, content is the backbone of the internet. If you think about it, nearly everything you view online is content. Example, videos on YouTube, articles, blogs of some kind. Content marketing is possibly one of the most important internet marketing strategies because without it, many other strategies wouldn't exist or wouldn't be effective. So a lot of persons ask, I don't know how to create content or what should I be talking about? You should write or talk about and answer questions that your customers have. Does your customers have common questions? Answer them in a form of a blog post. Today I released my first blog. It's not business related, but definitely if you're not someone who writes or you're not comfortable writing, there are a lot of persons that can create blog posts for you and you provide them with the information. You can also write about other information. If you're a restaurant, suggest food and wine pairing, talk about stuff like that. Company news, share news about your staff, your new products, your new location. Tell customers what's new. Persons are always trying to find out what's going on, what's new. Testimonials work wonders. And testimonials can be on your website. You can take that same content and use it on your blog. You can get video and put it on YouTube. So you can use content, the same content on different various channels. You also want to do behind the scenes. People like to see, and I think this is one brand that did this well was my former employer, Alive. Persons wanted to see when Alive first opened, who was working there, what they were doing. And so persons love to see the behind the scenes of what's going on. So use behind the scenes. Talk about your staff who works in the front. Talk about your staff who delivers. Let's say you have a delivery service, the person who's doing the delivery, talk about that person. Make the connection. Use the same content on various different channels. The next marketing strategy that I like is partnership. Partnership marketing happens when two brands collaborate to create campaigns that are beneficial to both parties. It is a cost-effective way of amplifying your market reach and solidifying your brand's reputation by working with an organization whose products or service complement yours. Starting partnership is an efficient way to increase your business reach. There are several types of partnerships you can pursue. For example, you can start by sharing social media posts. Again, I go back to my swimsuit business. When I sold swimsuits, there were persons who sold cover-ups. So what I did was I would share the persons who were selling the cover-up posts on my platform. That way, it encouraged them to share my post, and we would do back and forth joint promotions and partnerships. That so once you're looking for a swimsuit, the next thing you want is a cover up. So always use joint promotions. Always look for companies. There are a lot of times when you see companies would say, okay, I'm doing this promotion where you can win an all expense paid trip to Florida, and they would partner with a travel agency to boost the promotion that they are promoting. So definitely partnership is key, and it goes back again to using your network. Promotions in the social network, you can always do joint promotions again, and especially promotions in social network of a digital influencer. Social media influencers are big in the Bahamas, and I am still on the fence, to be honest, if they hold any weight in marketing. But a lot of companies use social media influencers in the Bahamas for marketing and branding needs. So you can always look around and select a social media influencer to help you with any promotions that you're having. The important thing about this type of marketing strategy is that you can identify partners that can help you attract more customers and for whom you can do the same. Thus, there will be an increase in both audience. Create promotions that encourage users to buy more or bring new customers to your digital platforms or in your store. Have you ever seen on certain social media pages creating promotions that gain new followers and get more persons in stores? So for instance, if you have a Facebook page and you run, I know a company a few weeks ago was running a promotion, whereas it was a company that sells baby clothing, and what they were doing was asking persons to sending photos of their child and asking their friends to go and like the picture and then like the page. So what that promotion did was it got more followers on the page. It also engaged customers to find out exactly what the store was about. And it was a great branding tactic, because now once, if me who just recently had a baby, when I think about buying clothing for her, I automatically start to think of that brand. Another type of promotion you can do is upsell. Upselling is when, if you sell clothing, like I said earlier, and the person is buying your clothing, and when you reach at the end to the register, they say, oh wow, these errands will go perfect with this. And that's upselling a next item. So those are just some in-store promotions that you can do as well. With this, users may be interested in making another purchase when they're in your store, or sometimes even on your website. Lastly, radio and TV newspaper. So radio and TV newspaper is still really, really huge in the Bahamas. It's huge mostly and mainly for a lot of big companies. Advertising in mass media and print media depends a lot on the type of business and communication channels your audience most uses. So if I owned a funeral home, would it make sense for me to use radio, TV, or newspaper, and why? Don't all speak at once.
I would
you can also
for funerals, I think it would be best for newspapers, AM.
Why?
Just because that's where the eyes are already when it comes to people looking for someone to put their family members down. I mean, I don't know if they I don't know exactly how it would go. But I imagine that in the newspaper for funerals would be good, or word of mouth, whatever one works.
Okay, exactly. Word of mouth is also a very good one. And if I was to use a newspaper, which day of the week would you suggest?
Monday or Thursday.
Okay, Mondays or Thursday. We tend to overlook Wednesday as well. According to my good PR friend who is on this call, and she can correct me if I'm wrong, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are the biggest newspapers sell in the Bahamas. So those are the days you definitely want to be advertising in the newspaper. Thursday is big because we all know Bahamians love to look in which section of the newspaper?
Obituary.
Yep, they love to look in the obituary section. And so because they love to look in the obituary section, it's the biggest day for newspaper sales. And so if you're advertising, you definitely, in the newspaper, you definitely want to use, like I said, Monday, Wednesday, or Thursdays. Advertising in mass media needs to be planned, and the expenses you will have after all can be very costly. Now, if I am between the ages of, let's say, 14 to, let's go 14 to 28, name a popular radio station in the Bahamas if I wanted to target that market.
103.5.
103, go ahead. 100 times. Okay. If I am 30 to 45.
194.
Someone else is saying something. 194. Okay. What? Someone else is saying something.
104.5. 104.5.
104.5. 96. Yeah, 96.9. That tends to be a good market for that age. And TV. Well, in the Bahamas, we really only have 4 now with Island Lux TV. But those, we have ZNS, Island Lux TV, Our News, and JCN. So those are the 4 stations. And of course, Cable Bahamas does the cross promotion where they can show your ads on the international stations as well. Any questions so far? If we have no questions, we can move on. So events. Like I said in my last role, I was the event sponsorship and community manager at Alive. And so I got a lot of experience in events. I also got a lot of experience planning the IAAF World Relays. And I can tell you, events is still one of the most powerful marketing tools. Online events includes events such as webinars, workshops conducted using online tools. Offline events includes events such as trade shows, customer appreciation events, renting booths at like international food festivals, Paradise Plates, or any major event happening throughout the country. An event can be used to launch a new product, to refresh a brand, to release a news story, to engage with key suppliers, to reward high-performing employees, and to inform internal and external stakeholders. It can be used to stimulate demand, to inform leads, and to bring new partners on board. You must find the right venue, get the right speakers, invite your audience, and suddenly you have an opportunity to communicate, engage with your target individuals in an exciting, immediate, and very real way. So nowadays, a lot of companies are putting on their own events. So they're putting on their own seminars. They're not sponsoring or partnering with events. That seems to be the trend now in the Bahamas. And what that allows is for them to select their target individuals who they want to attend these events and put the messaging right in front of these individuals. Put on an event and suddenly you have an immediate way to showcase your brand in a real setting. The sensory experience of an event means that your attendees are involved in a very real, meaningful, and memorable way. You are only limited by your imagination with a live event and can give your attendees the ability to engage with you in a highly experimental way that drives desired outcomes and increases the chances of brand advocacy. Events are a perfect vehicle for developing thought leadership through education, guidance, and information. They allow networking through education alike, thereby stimulating discussions, learning, and debate. By bringing industry speakers to talk about relevant and broader industry issues, you can help to inform your workforce or business partners while stimulating wider debate. Bring your best staff and encourage them to work the room, share their insights and industry expertise. Events represent an opportunity to give away promotional materials. Like I said earlier, Bohemians love free things. For example, helping you demonstrate quality and whilst allowing your attendees to spread your branding far and wide through the use of promotional marketing and promotional merchandise. Promotional events create long-term brand awareness. Events create content to share via digital assets. For example, you could plan a VIP launch or a pre-event showcase to encourage pre-event buzz and engagement, or host a webinar or competition to create more buzz. All of this plays perfectly in promoting your main event through digital channels like social media, email marketing, and of course, like I said, your website. Tricks at events. Some tricks at events that work is for lead generation. You could do the business card drawing. What that is you get a fishbowl and you ask persons to drop in their business card and they will win a prize. And as a result, you then take that information and you can use that information later on to send out emails, to do cold calls, or whatever it is you need to do. You can also get return of investment at events once you make a purchase and get. So for instance, you can say, well, make a purchase at this event and you will be eligible to win XYZ. You could also ask persons, this is a good time to do market research, to complete a service and enter to win XYZ. This also folks lead generation. So tracking your ROI. If you're on this Zoom with me, you know that I do not believe marketing is all ROI. And ROI, like I said earlier, is your return of investment. You want to know what's working and what's not working, so you definitely need to track it. Tracking allows you to figure out what's going right and what's going wrong. For your website, you want to use Google Analytics for your website. Install it on your site. It offers information, insight for your social media about your new likers, who's coming to your website. Facebook also has tools that you can track. You can ask your customers how they found you, how they found out about your promotion. To calculate your return on investment for a campaign, you do that by subtracting your sales promotion total cost from your gross profits, dividing that number by your sales promotion cost, and then multiplying that number by 100 to get a percentage. For event marketing, you simply subtract the total cost of your event from the total sales revenue and then divide by the total cost of the event. The result is expressed as a percentage, which you multiply by 100. So there are ways that you can track your return of investment. Like I said, again, I'm going to repeat, marketing is not all ROI. So not all marketing that you do is to garner return of investment. Some marketing is for branding, some is just for lead generating, which in turn then trickles back to return of investment. You want to create and update a monthly chart of where your marketing efforts are most and least effective. There are free templates online that you can download to do this. And lastly, before we get to having a chat and some questions, you need to make it work and enjoy it. Marketing is not a single event. It is an ongoing process. It's not something you can do once and reap the benefits for eternity. Deep down, I think most of us already know this, but many business owners have unrealistic expectations of their marketing. If you aren't willing to invest in your marketing long term, I suggest that you don't even bother, that you spend the money somewhere else. The key to making it all work is to, one, be consistent. Don't start and give up when things aren't working. Be creative. When things aren't working out, try something new. The world of marketing is ever changing. You will never run out of choices. I had a friend, a former colleague, who always would say, "Boy, Bianca, you could come up with something creative. Think outside the box. Don't think about what you would want to see if you was a consumer. Review your marketing plan every 3 to 6 months. Initially, you should review your marketing plan every 3 months to ensure your activities are supporting your strategy. Once your business becomes more established, review your plan when you introduce a new product or service. If a new competitor enters the market, or if there's an issue that arises or affects the industry, make changes to your marketing plan. Monitoring activities may include reviewing your sales figures on a regular basis or monitoring customers' activity during an advertising campaign. You can also review free analytic tools to determine the effectiveness of your social media or website campaigns. And at the end of it, if you still think marketing is too much, too time consuming, I say get help. BBS is definitely here to help you, so hire a professional or a consultant. And that brings us to the end. And now we can start with questions and answers. So any questions?
Bianca, what's been the best way since you've been doing marketing to see how radio ads work? How many people radio ads have been able to reach?
Well, what I would suggest you do if for radio ads is create some type of call to action. That way, if you create a radio ad, let's say you're selling plants, and you say, when you come in store, say that you heard this on XYZ. That way you'll be able to track exactly if your radio ad is working. So creating a call of action on radio ads is key. And again, making sure that your target market is actually on that radio station. There's a big debate that newspaper, radio, and TV ads, it's a dying field. But we're still here in the Bahamas, and so a lot of persons still listening to radio and still buy the paper and still watch TV. So definitely creating a call to action on a radio ad is a key to tracking it, making sure it works.
Oh, sounds good. Thanks.
Good night.
Good night.
I know you said to make regular posts on our social media accounts. For me, I personally have a problem in remaining regular, especially when it's not that particular time of year. Do you have any tips or suggestions that I can use?
Okay, what's your business?
So I do classroom decorations. And so usually the busiest time of the year would be August, September.
Okay, so you go out and decorate the class, or you provide products to decorate your class?
Just providing the products.
Okay, so you can definitely, use your customer base throughout the school year. Let them send you how the product is holding up. You can talk about what's trending in terms of classroom decorating throughout the year. You can also do a lot of throwbacks. You see a lot of companies throwback to when we first started decorating classrooms. There are a lot of different avenues that you can do to definitely talk about the classroom decorating throughout the year, but you have to be consistent. You can't just do it in August, because then people forget about you. You want to keep your brand in the forefront all year round. And so I would definitely suggest that you use a lot of throwbacks. You could even start working on your new products. So I don't know if you purchase those products, you could do like a private reveal on what's coming or what's trending for the new school year. And just using all that content, you could talk about it, like I said, on blogs, and utilize that content on your social media. Take a nice picture, write a nice caption. All of that you can do to keep it trending throughout the year.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. Any other questions?
Hi, Bianca. Great presentation. I just have a
Thank
quick
you.
question. Yeah, I just have a quick question about engaging community partners and sponsors for your events or any special projects. What tips would you give us for that?
Okay, so engaging community sponsors. Now with COVID-19 here, it's going to be definitely, I think, a little bit harder to engage sponsorship. However, the tip for that is making sure you have a strong brand. If you're sitting on the opposite end, which is the sponsorship chair, the company wants to make sure that you have a one, strong brand, two, you know what your brand is and what you're targeting. Three, making sure that you're consistent, again, on all social media platforms. Four, you need to find out and do your research about the company you're targeting and how you can bring value to that company. Because a lot of times persons think that they can, but giving me a company as a radio ad, if I'm a big company, I already own radio space. So that really doesn't help, you know? So seeing what uniqueness you can bring to the company or what it's lacking or which you can add will definitely help. Having a well put together sponsorship proposal, that's key as well. I
Thank
hope I
you.
answered that.
You did.
Okay.
Hello, Bianca.
Hello.
My question would be, what in your experiences in this field, what would be one of the biggest advantages, would you say, in actually contracting or using a company such as BBS Marketing?
I think a lot of people, like I say, they don't really understand marketing. And so when you get a consultant like BBS Marketing in, we can direct you to exactly where you should be and who your target market and how you should be speaking to your target audience. A lot of companies are just all over the place. They on the radio creating an ad with no call to action. They're creating promotions that are not bringing in the return of investment that they're looking at. They're not growing their customer base. So consultants such as I, what we look at is one, getting you more sales, growing your customer base, and ensuring that your current customer base is happy and getting the relevant information that they need. And so, like I say, marketing is time consuming. And if you know you don't have the time, or if you know you're not strong enough or you really don't understand it, I highly, highly suggest that you look at hiring BBS or any other type of marketing consultancy firm.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Hi, Bianca.
Hi, Shamika.
How you doing? Great
fine.
presentation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. As you know, I'm a newly published author of a children's dental book, right? So my marketing strategy, I would imagine, would be a little bit different from a typical business. Do you have any suggestions?
Okay, in terms of marketing your book, I think you want to definitely partner with, first of all, the dental community, getting the books in those offices. So when parents come, they can, while you're sitting, we're still reading. Definitely boosting the book and its information constantly on, I don't know if you have a social media page as yet for the book or what platform you're using to promote the book, but promoting the book on social media. Definitely as well, what I didn't speak about, what a lot of persons do, you need to do a lot of PR surrounding your book. And so that's going on like a radio station that's kids friendly, whatever age the book is. I don't know the ages that you're trying to target, but going on those radio stations, you can do interviews talking about the book. You can go on a more 96.9 in the morning when parents are listening and driving to work after COVID, and definitely talk about the book, what it's promoting, and what you're trying to do with the book. So those are just some of the strategies you can use. You need to do heavy PR surrounding your book, especially if you're trying to get it sold.
Good night, Bianca.
Good night.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
That's good. I have a question. I
Go
know you
ahead.
spoke on marketing, traditional way, and social media. With COVID-19 and the way forward, what would you say the marketing strategy needs to be the way forward in the new
That's
norm, per se?
That's a really good question. I think the new strategy is going to definitely be digital. Um, More and more persons are going to be utilizing their phones and utilizing the internet. And so, as we've seen before COVID, the number one thing that everyone has in their hand is their telephone. So I think a lot of companies are going to use mobile marketing as another tool to getting their marketing out. Community partnership as well, if you're a bigger brand, is also going to be interesting to see how that works post-COVID or in the new norm, as we're saying. And so digital, community, and mobile marketing, and all of your internet marketing. I think social media is even going to take a higher boost. More and more companies are going to try to reach their target and sell products via social media. So those are the channels that I believe are going to be key after this COVID-19.
Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Hello, Bianca.
Hi.
Excellent presentation, excellent information.
Thank you.
Very, very insightful. What would you say to a young person that just about to, let's just say, graduate from high school and is thinking about jumping straight into the marketing field? Should they get a job and try to get some hands-on experience, or should they try to go to college?
Well, like I said, when I started the presentation, I do not have a marketing degree. I have a journalism degree. I think they should do both. Marketing is something that you can learn, even though I think that a lot of people think that they are marketers and they're not. And so that can become very overly annoying as well. So definitely try to get experience is always the best teacher. So trying to find role models or someone who's working in the marketing field to do an internship will be key, as well as a college degree. The person definitely will have to have some form of creativity, because being creative is key to marketing. Being able to try new things, thinking outside of the box. All of those are tips that I would give to someone now thinking about getting into the marketing field. With COVID-19 now, like I said to the last person that asked the question, digital marketing is going to be key. So you don't want to really just study the same old traditional marketing. You want to be focused on digital marketing, and that's where everything's going. Now is the perfect time, guys, if you're on this and you have a business, to launch your business on some digital platform, whether it be social media, whether it be having a website. It is the perfect time to find out information, source a consultant to help you in branding and getting your information out on a digital platform. So digital marketing is something that they should definitely focus on. Digital marketing is very complex. And so I suggest both college and doing an internship.
Bianca, just one more question.
Go ahead.
I wanted to know, what were your as we go into what can be considered a more e-commerce world when it comes to doing business, I sometimes find it difficult to find good platforms to put your products on that aren't like trying to nickel and dime you. What would you say would be the best online platforms to use to create a website for yourself, and a website that would be able to complete purchases online?
Okay, so Ash, when it comes to website building, I am not I am not the master of that. Like, I am really now I am more of the person who updates your website and, build the content for your website. I am definitely learning more about website building and what platforms work and don't work in the Bahamas. There is and the name of it, I would have to get back to you. There's a company now that's really out there and speaking and opening the space on their platform to do e-commerce in the Bahamas, I can get back to you if you put your email with the name of that company and that information so you could take a look.
Okay, thanks, Bianca. Hey, Bianca.
Hi, Gary.
Awesome presentation. So,
Thank you.
so in terms of marketing and branding for your brand specifically, do you find that you market to a specific niche or specific type of brands here in the Bahamas, or is your clientele more broad?
I think it's a specific niche here in the Bahamas. Like I say, it's a lot of small businesses, a lot of businesses just trying to get out the door. I do have some clients now that are trying to rebrand. The industries, I would say, are very broad, but it is canoe. Thank you. It is canoe. I'm sorry. But the niche, I would say, is it's more small businesses and individuals wanting branding as well. A lot of times we use social media wrong. So for instance, if I am an insurance agent, and I'll just use that because I see my mom is on the call and she is definitely one of the greatest insurance people in the industry that I know. So if I am an insurance agent, now is the perfect time to get yourself a page, take some professional photos, and you can market yourself on social media and talk about why it's so important now or after COVID on the importance of having health insurance. Are people going to be more afraid to go into a Princess Margaret Hospital? Are they going to need health insurance to go more to a doctor's or to a walk-in clinic, And there's so many great ways you can do that utilizing social media. So branding yourself as well, guys. I know we didn't talk a lot about that tonight, but that's also key. And using the different channels to market, And so that's that. I hope I answered that question, Gary.
Yes, thank you.
Hi, Bianca.
Hi.
Great presentation. I was
Thank
just wondering,
you.
You're welcome. I was just wondering if you could share your social media handles.
Okay, so my social media handles is Sawyer BBS on Instagram and Bianca Bethel Sawyer on Facebook. My email address is bbethelsawyer, so that's 2 B's, @gmail.com. So feel free to shoot me an email. Let's link on social media. If you have any questions as it relates to marketing or events. Like I said before, BBS Marketing does provide marketing services. We do the social media, content, promotions, event management. I like to call myself the AOT queen of events. And so if you need help with that or your small business need marketing help in general, feel free to reach out to me and I will assist you the best way possible. Any other questions?
Bianca, I have another question.
Go ahead.
I know you spoke briefly on rebranding a few moments ago. Rebranding, do you recommend it, and at what intervals is it recommended? Because I know it's quite expensive to rebrand. Like take for instance, if you are to rebrand McDonald's or something right now, boy, I think they'll spend millions of dollars in ads and rebranding material.
Yes, but McDonald's is a big company. Let's talk about a small company. So let's just say I wanted to rebrand my husband's company, Island Delight. You look at rebranding when you realize that you're not, like, for instance, you may not have a strong brand. Like I said, you may have started marketing, and then what happened is your brand perception was created for you. So you didn't have the opportunity to actually create your brand perception and create your story on what your brand is. So rebranding not necessarily is expensive. There are some great tools that you can use to rebranding, such as PR. You can go out there, get newspaper stories in, You don't always have to do TV and radio ads, and just create a strong message that you could drive home on platforms that aren't so expensive. So not necessarily your television or your radio. So social media, your website, you could relaunch your whole website, give it a facelift. Sometimes that's what you have to do, relaunch on social media. And the good thing about that is you can definitely get persons involved. I love to see when, I don't know if you've ever seen it, when persons say, okay, I'm rebranding my company. Which logo do you guys think I should go with? All of that is part of your market research that's going into your rebranding, and engaging them and asking them why. You could rebrand at events, creating an event that launches your new brand, tells your story, what your brand is about. So rebranding doesn't have to be expensive for a small business. Yes, you're going to spend some money. I like to tell people, once you rebrand, stay consistent. Like I said, your logo is key. Having a strong logo, making sure your logo tells your story and speaks of what your brand is something that should definitely go beyond with your rebranding exercise.
I will spin on that. Another question on this rebranding. As a consultant, I call you into my company to give me some advice. I've been getting a lot of bad PR. Things, the business is running, but it isn't completely in the ground. I want to rebrand, do a whole rebranding because my image is poor. What would you say to me?
So I would say that, first of all, Dwight, that you need to find out why your imaging is poor. That's step number one. Why is it poor? Is it because you offer bad customer service? Is it because you take too long? Like, for instance, let's use the
company.
No, was it a shipping company? The company where persons were delivering the food.
Okay.
What was that called? The grocery company.
Name right now.
Anyways.
What the shipping company in Golden Gate Shopping Center.
Island Direct.
Pardon? I can't. Someone said the name.
I think you're referring to Island Direct.
Island Direct, right. So Island Direct, they handled that whole issue that they had, in my opinion, poorly. So if I was Island Direct right now and I needed to rebrand, I would first address the situation. What they did was deflected from the situation. So instead of saying, yes, we messed up, and yes, we realized X, Y, Z, like I said, persons like to attach themselves to brands that they can relate to. We're all human, so we all make mistakes. So then what I do is create an excellent PR campaign that shows that we have learned already from the mistake and how we're working to ensure that it never happens again. I will get customer testimonials. There's no need for them to rebrand their whole logo. I would create radio ads that speak about, what we're doing better. PSAs. I would become a leader in the industry, talking and making sure I become an expert on getting delivery right and doing it right. And that's the rebranding strategy that I would suggest that they use at this time if they wanted to rebrand, and which I think that they need to do.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Any other questions?
Hi, Bianca.
Hi,
My
Brenda.
question for you, great job tonight, by the way. It was very interesting. I had two questions. The first question is, I was trying to figure out the return on investment portion, because I usually market about, I would say, 1 week out of the month, and I'm wondering if I need to go up on that. And the reason I'm asking if maybe I should go up on it, because I don't know, it's sometimes it does seem a bit like the market is a bit saturated for what I'm doing. I'm sure you know what I'm doing. But I wonder, do I market more? Do I I try to post on my page maybe once a week, sometimes twice. But it depends. But it's not every week.
Okay, and you're talking about your food business, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so definitely you want to be posting more. You want to be posting more content as well. You tend to just post a flyer, and that's another pet peeve of mine that we do a lot on social media here in the Bahamas. You have so much content that you can post. Like, let's say, for instance, this week you're making crab and rice and fish. You can do a whole video with you getting the ingredients to make this. You can do a write-up on how you make it, not giving away all your secrets. You can also utilize again your customer base to give you good testimonials. You can take very nice photos of your dishes. So make people want and keep posting them during the week. So if I see, let's say for instance, I love your crab and dough. Let's say you post crab and dough Monday, and then you selling crab and dough on Friday, and you post on Monday, the flyer. And on Tuesday, you have a post about crab and what goes behind the cleaning of the crab. And on Wednesday, you talk about the dough. And a good thing you could do too is form partnership. Let's just say you use Robin and Flour. It doesn't hurt to reach out to them and say, hey, I want to form this partnership. It's a joint partnership. And we could both win here. Let's do a giveaway. I'm going to talk about utilizing your flour to make my crab and dough. And then on Thursday, you post your flyer again. Friday, you talk about taking orders. And you always want to make it like it's hard to get in. So you want to say orders are coming in fast. Make sure I get your order in. And that's a week of posting. And so definitely you need to post more because you're getting lost. People aren't remembering you. And so you want to find the channel that works best for you. Doing videos as well, which you preparing, persons coming for the food, taking photos, all of that are things that you can do to boost your business.
Okay. Thank you. That was very informative. I'll try that. And it's so funny that you said that because I kind of started doing that this week. I shared a clip yesterday of me feeding the crabs. So it's like something I could do every day,
Right.
leading up to the day of it. So
and you could also talk about what you feed the crabs too, because a lot of persons who may be on the fence of not eating the crab and dough, if they see you're taking good care of these crabs, it may change their mindset and persuade them to want to make a purchase and try it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So I'd say make an event out of the crab and dough. I agree.
Okay. Bianca, what I also did, my background, actually my business page is in education. So I know at this point in time, there are a lot of students that are out of school, and my background is in the post-secondary institute. So I went into online classes with them. So because I'm not there to basically see them or physically see the actual teaching, I'm now on my business page almost every day. I'm offering free classes. I'm coming on live, and I'm just giving them the content on new classes, whatever expansion that is that we have on the page. I'm basically on my page almost every day for at least an hour or two. So I'm keeping the traffic. And since I've been doing that while we're in this COVID-19 pandemic, and sharing the page, sharing the educational stuff, the free classes that we're offering, I am now getting more traffic on my page that I've had originally. So persons are coming to the page, they're wanting the content, they're reading the content, they are actually inboxing me for future classes, upcoming classes, when will the new semester begin. So I'm getting all that traffic to the page. So I would encourage most of you who do have your business page, that business page that you have, if you take an hour or two out of your day and basically focus on your business page, you will see the traffic and you will reap the reward from that. So just a word of encouragement, because everything that Bianca spoke of tonight is what I have been doing, and I am beginning to see the rewards coming from that. With free classes, free information, just getting it out there, just being a present on your page, and just bringing that traffic to the page is very good.
I just want to put one point there now. Remember, too much free isn't good. So while you're doing the free classes and you're growing the pages, know when to stop it though, because then you need to turn that likes and those engagement into money.
Exactly.
And so you need to know when you've reached your target. Let's say you wanted to grow the page by 100 and you've reached 100 persons, then you stop with free and you start pushing to them other information about how they can be involved. So you loved what you were getting, but now here's how you can be involved.
Exactly.
So you want to definitely know when to stop free.
Okay, good. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Okay, someone just told me if you don't want to pay for free e-commerce, Ash, you can use community pages on Facebook to share products as well. Ash, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. And also, Shamika, if you're still there, when school is open as well, you should definitely do a school tour of your book. That way, you can get the information and the books out directly in the front of your target market. So you should do a partnership with schools. Okay, if there are no other questions, thank you so much for joining us tonight on this course. Thank you, Steph, for creating the platform. As I said, if you do need help with your marketing services, feel free to reach out to me. If you need personal branding, feel free to reach out to me, as well as if you need advice on how you go about doing events, getting your events in the front of the right eyes, as well as sponsorship. Please feel free to reach out to me. My telephone number again is 801-4390. On Instagram, it's Sawyer BBS. On Facebook, Bianca Bethel Sawyer. Let's chat. We do offer free consultation. So definitely reach out and let's see how we can assist. Thank you all. And we are way past our hour. So have a good night.
All right. Before we leave, Bianca, thank you so much for all of this good information you've given to us tonight. One or two quick announcements. I don't know if Gary is still here. Gary, just tell us a little bit about your class. I think it's coming up on the weekend. Just give us a brief.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Awesome. So basically, my class on Friday, we'll be talking about basically my story and how I became a filmmaker and specialize in video production. And I'll be just giving kind of best practices and tips to for video marketing, for every brand you have, and just taking advantage of your personal brand and how you can maximize video to just promote your brand and your business.
All right, good stuff. I thought that would be a good addition to what Bianca talked about tonight in terms of marketing. Gary is a great videographer. You can possibly hit him up after his class so you can solicit his services. With that being said, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in with us tonight. We continue tomorrow with these courses with for music lovers. We have a music panel on the industry tomorrow, so join us at 8 p.m. Any other information as it relates to Bianca's presentation, you can email us. If she wishes to release it to the public, we'll do so. Or you can kindly message her for this presentation. Once again, thank you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy. Have a good evening.
Good night, everyone.
E.